Most people are not overwhelmed because they have too much work. They're overwhelmed because they're working the wrong way. In 2026, time is no longer the scarcest resource. Leverage is. You can still grind 8 to 10 hours a day, answering emails, writing content, researching ideas, editing videos, managing clients, planning projects, and feel productive. But while you're doing that, someone else is finishing the same workload in 3 hours because they're using AI strategically, not casually, not occasionally, systematically. If you're still opening AI tools only when you feel stuck, you're already behind. In 2026, the real shift is not using AI. It's designing your entire workflow around it. And today, we're going to break down exactly how to stop wasting time and start using AI like someone who understands where the world is heading. Let's start with a hard truth. They generate a few paragraphs, maybe a social media caption, maybe a random image. Then they close the tab. That's not leverage, that's dabbling. The people moving ahead are using AI as infrastructure. Instead of asking, "Can AI help me with this task?" they ask, "How do I redesign this entire process so AI does 70% of it automatically?" That single shift changes everything. First, stop using AI reactively. If you wait until you're overwhelmed to open an AI tool, you're already operating inefficiently. The smarter approach is proactive integration. For example, let's say you're a content creator. The old method: you brainstorm topics manually, you outline manually, you write manually, you edit manually, you design thumbnails manually, you repurpose content manually. Now multiply that by 3 platforms. It's exhausting. Now here's the 2026 method. You sit down once with a powerful AI model like ChatGPT by OpenAI and design a content engine. You prompt it to generate 20 topic ideas aligned with your niche and audience psychology. Then you ask it to rank those ideas by engagement potential and search intent. Next, you ask it to build detailed outlines for the top 5. Then you refine tone and positioning. Then you create long-form scripts in one session. Now here's the part most people miss. You do not stop there. You take that script and feed it into an automation workflow powered by Zapier AI. That workflow automatically converts the script into a blog article, extracts 10 short-form hooks, generates LinkedIn posts, creates an email newsletter draft, schedules content across platforms. You just turned one idea into a content ecosystem. That's the difference between using AI and building systems with AI. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Stop thinking in tasks. Start thinking in assets. In 2026, time wasters focus on daily to-do lists. High-leverage thinkers focus on building repeatable systems. For example, if you're a freelancer, instead of writing custom proposals from scratch every time, you build an AI-powered proposal generator trained on your past wins. You use Claude by Anthropic to analyze your previous successful proposals, extract common persuasive patterns, and help you create a structured template that adapts based on client type. Now every new inquiry becomes a 10-minute refinement, not a 2-hour writing session. You just saved dozens of hours per month. And here's the deeper principle. AI is not replacing thinking. It's accelerating decision-making. Let's talk about research. In the past, deep research meant opening 20 tabs and scrolling endlessly. In 2026, you open Perplexity AI. You ask a structured question. You explore cited answers. You follow up with layered prompts. You compare viewpoints. Instead of drowning in information, you navigate it strategically. The time saved compounds daily. But I want to pause for a second and ask you something. How much of your day is spent on low-level cognitive work? Formatting, summarizing, rewriting, organizing, responding. Now imagine eliminating 60% of that, not by working faster, but by designing AI to handle it automatically. That's the real shift. Now let's move into something most people completely ignore: idea validation. In 2026, smart builders do not guess. Before launching a product, you can simulate market analysis using AI. You can use ChatGPT to analyze competitors. Use Claude to break down pricing structures. Use Perplexity to research trends. Use Midjourney to prototype branding visuals instantly. Within a single afternoon, you can go from idea to validated concept, something that used to take weeks. That speed reduces risk, and reduced risk encourages action. That's why AI users are launching more experiments than everyone else. And experimentation is how you win long-term. Now, let's talk about creators who say, AI makes content generic. That's only true if you use it lazily. If you give vague prompts, you get average results. But if you train AI on your voice, your beliefs, your frameworks, it becomes a multiplier. In 2026, advanced users create what's essentially a personal AI brain. They upload past writings. They define tone rules. They outline philosophical positions. They feed in brand guidelines. Now when they generate content, it sounds like them, amplified. Instead of replacing authenticity, AI enhances clarity. But here's something even more powerful. Stop using AI just to produce. Start using AI to think. Some of the most productive founders use AI as a strategic sparring partner. They challenge assumptions. They simulate counter-arguments. They explore second-order consequences. You can literally debate your own business model with AI before committing capital. That kind of strategic rehearsal saves money and time. Now, let's move into automation at a deeper level. The people wasting time in 2026 are still manually managing workflows, checking dashboards, moving files, updating spreadsheets. Meanwhile, advanced users connect everything. Let's say you run an online course. When someone enrolls, AI analyzes their goals from a form submission. It generates a personalized onboarding email. It categorizes them by skill level. It suggests relevant modules. It sends reminders automatically, all without you touching anything. That's not futuristic. That's possible right now with automation platforms and AI integration. The same principle applies to e-commerce, consulting, coaching, agencies, SaaS, even job hunting. Now, here's a line you need to hear clearly. If you're doing repetitive digital work manually in 2026, it's a choice, not a necessity. And that choice is costing you time you'll never get back. But let's go deeper. There's another way people waste time with AI. Tool obsession. Jumping from one new platform to another. Testing everything. Mastering nothing. The smarter move? Pick a core stack. For example, ChatGPT for reasoning and creation. Claude for long document analysis, Perplexity for research, Midjourney for visuals, Runway for video, Zapier AI for automation. Then master workflows between them. Because real efficiency does not come from tools alone. It comes from integration. And here's something that separates high performers from everyone else in 2026. They document their AI workflows. They create prompt libraries. They build reusable templates. They refine systems weekly. They treat AI usage like building intellectual property. Every optimized prompt becomes an asset. Now let's talk about learning. If you're trying to learn a new skill, AI compresses time dramatically. Want to learn coding? Use AI to explain concepts, generate practice problems, review your mistakes, simulate real-world projects. Want to improve writing? Ask AI to critique your drafts, rewrite in multiple tones, highlight weak arguments, suggest stronger framing. You do not need to passively consume information anymore. You can interact with it dynamically. That's a massive time saver. But I want to challenge you with something uncomfortable. Are you using AI to avoid thinking or to think better? Because there's a difference. If you blindly copy outputs, you become dependent. If you refine outputs strategically, you become powerful. AI should reduce execution time, not eliminate critical thinking. Now imagine this. It's 12 months from now. Two versions of you exist. One kept working traditionally, answering everything manually, researching slowly, producing at normal speed. The other version redesigned their workflow, automated repetitive tasks, built content engines, created digital systems, used AI for strategy and leverage. The gap between those two versions will not be small. It will be dramatic. Income difference, skill difference, output difference, opportunity difference. That's the compounding effect of time leverage. And here's the part nobody talks about enough. AI reduces emotional friction. Starting becomes easier. You're not staring at blank pages. You're not stuck at step 1. You're not overwhelmed by complexity. You move faster. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence increases output. Output builds results. Results change trajectories. All because you stopped wasting time on tasks AI can handle. But let's make this practical. If you want to apply this immediately, do this. Tomorrow morning, before starting work, write down every task you plan to do. Then ask yourself, can AI assist? Can AI automate? Can AI accelerate? Can AI analyze? Can AI generate a first draft? Can AI optimize this? If the answer is yes to even half of them, you're sitting on time savings you have not claimed yet. And one final thought, the people who will dominate this decade are not necessarily the smartest. They're the most adaptable. They're the ones who embrace leverage early. They're the ones who see AI not as a threat, but as an amplifier. So stop wasting time doing what machines can do faster. Stop treating AI like a side tool. Design your workflow around it. Build systems. Create assets. Automate friction. Accelerate thinking. Because in 2026, productivity is not about working harder. It's about building leverage. And the people who understand that, they're not just getting more done. They're building lives with more freedom, more opportunity, and more control over their time. The question is simple. Are you going to stay busy, or are you going to become leveraged?